And here we are. This is the absolutely stunning Aston Martin AMR3 Amoco Koenigsegg F1 team third Bahrain Grand Prix of 2023, driven by Fernando Alonso. And I know that there have been a couple subscribers that have been looking forward to this one and saying that this is the one to buy versus the one that was driven by Vettel. They're definitely comparable. I mean, there are obviously some differences in the way that this one looks compared to the Vettel version, which was, in 2022 or 21. And yeah, there's just so much to take in from this model. It's so beautiful. I would have to say this is definitely my second favorite livery. My first one, and I know some of you are gonna roll your eyes because I've been talking about it forever, would be that Alfa Romeo. I still really like that particular one. But Spark did a fantastic job on this model. The overall shape, of course, as I mentioned, or I am going to mention, is really good. The wheel detail is fantastic. We're definitely going to take a closer look at each one of these aspects or things that I'm pointing out. But just overall, I just really wanted you to take in the overall beauty of this particular car, because it is definitely a beautiful car. Spark has been producing these very well detailed Formula One cars beginning of 22, when they changed some of their marketing a little bit. And what I mean by that is that all of these Formula One cars are now premium cars. They have extra details, and I'm pretty sure they did that because of the competition. Competition has gotten better, so the level of detail and unfortunately the level of pricing has gone up. I'm just going across the surface here, demonstrating how well this paint has been laid out. And as you can see, there is a flake in the paint, which adds to the reflectiveness of it. Front wing, typical Spark carbon fiber, and again, just the whole idea of having the different textures of carbon fiber on this model. It's not left out like it would be on lesser models. You have these attachments, which again, these smaller pieces are actually metal. They're not just painted in with a metallic paint, which is really nice. And there is separation between the planes. Closer look at the scrub tires. See the differentiation between the plane here, which is that glossy carbon fiber, versus the A-arms, which are not. They're a dry carbon fiber. Again, different patterns. Just the idea and the choice of different materials goes to show how much attention to detail was made with this particular model. Third different texture. These are metal pieces here as well. The decals are nice. This one you can see the outline of the decals. It doesn't really detract from anything, but I just noticed in previous Spark models I couldn't see that. So I don't know if that was a change in how they're utilizing materials. I always like pointing this out about the Spark models, and this one is even more improved. So not only do you have the face of the driver that you can see there, see the nose, but you also see the padding within the helmet that's pushing against the cheeks of the driver. I don't think I've ever seen it done in any Formula One car model, not at this level anyway. The seat belts have the pads on the top. It does have a 3D look because this is not just a painted on seatbelt. It actually looks like a nylon piece, which is really nice. You have the photo etched buckles there as well. Helmet is very clear and concise with all the lettering. If you move over to the steering wheel, it's nicely detailed, of course. You have your Aston Martin Formula 1 there. You have the controls, the LED screen. Top of the helmet. Closer look at that flake again. Now the vents on this model are very well done. Now I can't tell if those are actually true vents, but they are convincing enough if they're not. You have this metal stabilization piece. It's another different texture for the carbon fiber. You have this very well done, realistic looking ground effect. There's just so much to take in on this model. Just going back to the front with the suspension pieces rather. Just wanted to point out the aerodynamic planes there. Now if you move to the back of this model, of course you have the wing with the DRS. It's not a functional DRS, of course, but it is still very well done. This is a true metal piece here. It has nice depth to it, so it does look realistic. You have your LED light here, and then of course across the back of the wing. Just a better look at that exhaust diffuser in the back. And of course with all Spark models you have the printed information that's on the base. Very nice and simple. I like it that way. Just to pull back. And there you are. This is the AMR23 Aston Martin F1 car driven by Fernando Alonso for the Bahrain Grand Prix, 3rd place. And now to my conclusions. Well, I hope you enjoyed the review of the Formula 1 Aston Martin 2023 Bahrain car driven by Fernando Alonso. It's a great livery. It's very similar to the livery of the previous year. There are slight changes, but other than that, the car itself made by Spark is fantastic. I have to say, Spark is definitely at the top when it comes to the Formula 1 cars. There's just no mistaking that. The nylon seat belts, the great detail, the face that you can see through the visor. There are no other companies, again, at this price point that are doing that. So I have to put a value onto this model. I'm going to give it 2.5 stars. Give it 2.5 and not higher than that, only because there are so many different liveries that come out every year, and there was nothing really that significant this year that Aston Martin really accomplished. They scored points, they had a great mid-season, and it kind of declined later on. So that's the reason for the rating. My next video, I know some of you have been waiting on this. I will have the Mini Champs Porsche 911 992 GT3. So that is coming up next. Please like and subscribe. That is the best way I'm going to know you're enjoying this channel. I appreciate your time, and I look forward to seeing you next time.